Hello, I'm Sebastian. Welcome to 9 Trees podcast. Today, I will summarize and review the book. How to Break Up with Your Phone, Revised Edition by Catherine Price, is a practical, research-informed guide for anyone who feels their smartphone has quietly become the default setting of daily life. Rather than framing technology as the enemy, Price treats attention as a limited resource and helps readers see how modern apps and notifications are designed to capture it. The book centers on a structured 30-day digital detox plan that blends reflection, measurement, and gradual behavior change. Readers are guided to notice when and why they reach for their phones, identify the costs to focus, sleep, relationships, and mood, and then rebuild healthier routines that still allow for the benefits of modern connectivity. The revised edition updates the conversation for an even more notification-heavy world, emphasizing intentional use over abstinence. With exercises, checklists, and mindset shifts, the book aims to help readers reclaim time, presence, and peace of mind without requiring a total tech purge. I will give you key takeaways from this book. Firstly, seeing the phone clearly, attention, habit loops, and design. A central theme is learning to view smartphone overuse not as a personal failure, but as a predictable outcome of habit loops and persuasive product design. The book encourages readers to understand how cues like pings, badges, and boredom trigger automatic checking, which is rewarded by novelty, social validation, or relief from discomfort. By naming these mechanisms, the reader can replace vague guilt with clarity and strategy. Price highlights that attention is trainable but also fragile, and constant context switching can erode deep work, memory consolidation, and satisfaction. The revised framing emphasizes that many services monetize time and engagement, so the default settings often push toward more use rather than better use. This insight matters because it shifts the goal from willpower to environment design, adjusting notifications, removing frictionless triggers, and setting boundaries that reduce impulsive grabs. Readers are prompted to examine which apps truly serve their values and which simply fill micro-moments. The result is a more realistic, compassionate foundation for change, where the phone becomes a tool again rather than an always-on slot machine for attention. Secondly, the 30-day plan, From Awareness to Sustainable Change. The book is organized around a month-long detox that proceeds in stages, first building awareness, then reducing compulsive behaviors, and finally creating a long-term relationship with technology that fits the reader's life. Early steps focus on measurement and honest observation, such as tracking usage patterns and identifying high-risk situations like waking up, commuting, or social downtime. This diagnostic phase helps readers see the specific roles the phone plays: distraction, soothing, connection, or procrastination. The middle phase introduces structured experiments that create space between impulse and action, often by limiting the most attention-hijacking behaviors and practicing small rules that are easy to keep. The plan is not about perfection. It treats setbacks as data that reveal stress points and missing supports. In the later phase, the reader consolidates gains by setting personal principles and default routines, such as planned checking windows, device-free zones, and intentional app choices. Throughout, Price emphasizes gradual habit replacement because removing a behavior without a substitute often fails. By the end of 30 days, the goal is not a temporary cleanse, but a repeatable system that makes mindful use easier than mindless use. Thirdly, reclaiming focus, deep work, flow, and mental clutter. Another key topic is how constant phone access fragments attention and makes it harder to enter flow states that fuel creativity, learning, and satisfaction. The book connects everyday checking to a broader pattern of mental clutter, many tiny interruptions that leave the brain feeling busy but unaccomplished. Readers are encouraged to notice the hidden costs of micro-distractions, including slower task completion, more errors, and a lingering sense of restlessness. Price guides readers toward practices that protect focus, such as reducing notification sources, batching communication, and creating physical distance from the device during demanding tasks. The emphasis is practical. Rather than chasing productivity hacks, the reader builds conditions where focus is the default. The plan also recognizes that distraction is often emotional, not just technological. People reach for their phone to avoid uncertainty, discomfort, or effort, so improved focus involves tolerating a bit of boredom and friction. By practicing intentional boredom and single tasking, readers can rebuild their capacity for sustained concentration. Over time, these changes can support more meaningful work, better reading stamina, and a calmer mind that is less reactive to every buzz and update. Fourthly, relationships and presence, connecting without constant connectivity. The book explores how phone habits affect relationships, not only through time spent on screens, but through the quality of attention offered to others. Even brief glances can signal disengagement, interrupt conversation, and reduce empathy. Price encourages readers to evaluate when connectivity enhances relationships and when it replaces them with weaker substitutes like scrolling, passive likes, or performative sharing. The detox plan includes strategies to protect face-to-face connection, such as device-free meals, no-phone social rules, and intentional communication norms with friends and family. The focus is not moralizing, it is about aligning behavior with values like respect, curiosity, and warmth. The revised edition perspective fits modern life where group chats, work messages, and social platforms blur boundaries. Readers are guided to set expectations that reduce anxiety, for example by clarifying response windows and choosing fewer, higher-quality channels. There is also attention to personal identity and self-worth, since social comparison and approval-seeking can drive compulsive checking. By reducing reactive engagement and increasing purposeful contact, readers can cultivate deeper conversations, feel less lonely despite being less online, and become more fully present in the moments that matter. Lastly, building a phone. Life balance, rules, tools, and environment design. A practical strength of the book is its emphasis on building systems that make good behavior easier. Instead of relying on constant self-control, Price encourages readers to redesign their digital and physical environments, simplifying home screens, uninstalling or hiding high-friction apps, turning the device grayscale, and setting notification policies that prioritize only truly important alerts. Readers are also nudged to create replacement activities that satisfy the same needs the phone serves, such as movement for restlessness, reading for stimulation, or calling a friend for connection. The book frames boundaries as personal and flexible because different jobs and families require different levels of availability. The key is to decide intentionally rather than accept default settings. The plan also considers time-based and location-based rules, such as keeping the phone out of the bedroom, using an alarm clock instead, and establishing a shutdown ritual at night to improve sleep. Long-term, the reader learns to evaluate new apps and devices with the simple question, does this support my goals or steal my attention? This approach helps prevent relapse and keeps the phone aligned with a life that feels chosen, not constantly interrupted. In conclusion, this book is best for readers who suspect their phone use is undermining their focus, mood, sleep, or relationships, but who do not want a rigid, tech is bad manifesto. It also fits busy professionals, parents, students, and creative workers who need practical steps that can be implemented in the middle of real life. The 30-day structure provides a clear path. First, understand your habits, then interrupt the most compulsive loops, and finally rebuild routines that protect attention and presence. That combination can benefit daily life in tangible ways, including more uninterrupted work time, calmer evenings, better quality rest, and richer conversations with the people around you. Compared to many digital minimalism or productivity books, this one stands out for its approachable tone and its action-oriented plan that emphasizes experimentation over perfection. It does not demand that you abandon the smartphone, it helps you renegotiate the relationship so the device supports your priorities rather than quietly dictating them. If you want a guided reset with concrete exercises and lasting principles, it is a worthwhile purchase that can keep paying off long after the 30 days are over. If you would like to support Catherine Price, you can buy the book through the Amazon link I've provided in the podcast description. After reading the book, please let me know what you think and share your thoughts. See you around.